I'm delighted to say now I'm joined with Dr Sanjay Sharma, who's come into the studio and is going to help us through this minefield of heart health and how it affects us all. Doctor, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Good evening.
It's very good to have you here. Thank you very much indeed. First of all, can I just make it clear to our viewers, you've been at the Spurs Lodge today and you've actually been involved in the examination of some Spurs players, obviously unsettled and worried by the events of the last 72 hours.
Absolutely. Most Spurs players have been tested. They've all had comprehensive cardiac testing in the past year, but having witnessed the shocking scenes, I think most of them realise that although they're at their peak of their fitness, they're not as invincible as they felt they were. Yeah. This obviously created a lot of anxiety, and the club felt that some sort of reassurance was required to allow themselves to pick themselves up before the game on Wednesday and to continue with their season. And as a result of this, they offered every single one cardiac screening today. Okay.
I mean, is it possible to absolutely detect the first signs of cardiomyopathy in the human heart? Because I personally am a sufferer of dilated cardiomyopathy. Nobody had any idea I had it, despite the fact I'd had examinations, until actually I was struck down.
You're absolutely right. And these conditions may cause symptoms, and these symptoms include chest pain, breathlessness, even blackouts or palpitation. But the sad thing is that in about 80% of top sportsmen, there are no symptoms, and sudden death or a cardiac arrest is the first presentation.
Golly.
Although there are lots of things that can cause these sort of problems, the cardiac examination only picks up a handful of these things.
Amazing. Now, we've had the great news tonight that there are some signs of real life with young Fabrice. You know, he's talking all that. Now, that is at complete odds with the information we were getting from Spurs on Saturday, that the poor young boy's heart might have stopped for up to 2 hours. Now, you know, you find it almost remarkable that anybody who's been without the normal pumping action of their heart for 2 hours is even conscious and able to speak again. What's the explanation for those series of events?
I must say that I'm at a loss to explain that. I, like you, have relied only on media reports. And, I wasn't there, seen the photos, of course, of what went on, and whatever went on was amazing in that the medics were on the athlete very, very quickly. Very aggressive attempts were made at cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and we learnt the following day that the heart may not have got started for 45 minutes, someone said, and then 2 hours. And of course, one worries that if the pump isn't working, the major problem is lack of oxygen to the brain. Of course, if there is no oxygenation to the brain, then even if the individual survives, there could be serious issues here. So to now hear that he's no longer requiring a breathing apparatus of any form, he's recognizing relatives and perhaps even talking, it's fascinating. It's almost a miracle, actually.
It's quite astonishing. Could it be that there was some kind of, like what I'm looking for, a mechanical pump keeping the chest moving up and down, or something like that? I don't know. Or something on the.
Well, I think all I can say is that the medics and the paramedics are to be congratulated, as are the team at the London Chest. What's happened is that even though the patient may have been in ventricular fibrillation, this is this very horrible heart rhythm where the heart doesn't pump. I think it was the mechanical compressions by personnel attending to him that must be the key to why such improvements are occurring. Of course, I'm absolutely delighted.
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah, sorry,
Doctor, you were at the Spurs training ground today and speaking to the people who were involved on Saturday. I mean, were they saying it was 45 minutes or 2 hours? I mean,
well, they wouldn't know necessarily, would they? I suppose.
Well, all they were talking about was how horrific and shocking it was for all of them. For many of them, it was a blur, because this chap wasn't just a fellow competitor. He was a pal for many of them. These were social friends. So I think all they could think about was his welfare. I feel that we were all very lucky that ESPN moved the cameras away and did not give us any hindsight of what actually went on. So all that was televised was 6 to 10 minutes of activity, medical activity on the pitch, and I think the referee then summoned the players off. So I guess all they can recollect is those 6 to 10 minutes.